Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. How are you today? I'm super stoked. We're going to do some fun stuff tonight. I had a few people mention the masking images and wanting to see that done. So I was thinking that we would do some masking tonight. So in order to cut down the amount of time that it would take, I went ahead and made a couple of masks. So these are not the stamped images, these are the masked images. So I know that some people wanted to see a little bit of masking, so that is what we are working on tonight. Hi, Tamara. Hello, hello. So I thought tonight, we have not used our little koala bear, and I thought, well, let's do him non-traditional. So we're going to mask him, and we're going to color him in rainbow colors. So not one all mixed into rainbow, but like one of each of the rainbow colors. And you'll see how that's all going to come together here in just a minute. But I wanted to make this really cute hello card. I have someone I need to mail a card to, and I thought they would really like it. Well, hello, Michelle Brownstein. I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm super happy to see you here. Hi, Donnell. Yes, rainbow is your favorite. So we are playing with rainbows tonight. So we're going to mask as well. So in order to get this all done, and I've already pulled some rainbow colors, so you'll see them on my desk already. We're going to go ahead and get started. So I chose the koala bear, and I have a sentiment pulled that we're going to use as well. And yes, I am not going to Misty stamp this. I am going to freehand stamp this. Yeah, I know it's a little bit on the crazy wonky side, but that's what we're going to do. So whenever you're going to mask something, first, you have to decide what do you want to be in the front, and that is the one that you stamp first, because when you cover that up, everything else will appear to be behind what you've stamped first. So kind of think about building the scene from the front view all the way back to the back view. Look, Mom, no Misty, right? Hey, Cheryl. Yep, I'm not going to use a Misty tonight. We are going to do it without. So I'm going to show you that, like, if I were to travel, well, I do have a travel size Misty, but if I needed to, my stamp fits on this block. This is my favorite block. So sometimes when I travel, I will just grab a block and stamps that would fit on the block, and then I just go. So I have to be able to stamp without that. So I've cut down this paper right here to 3.75 by 5 inches, and that gives me an inch on each side of the card so that we can double mat. I want us to be able to double mat this. I don't know how, but that's what I want to do. So we're only going to, so this little guy, he looks like he's sitting there waving at you, you know, hello everyone. So we're not going to stamp all of him. We're just going to stamp the part from right here where his hand is waving. And I'm going to start with putting him right in the center. So I'm going to put my card on the table. I'm just going to line it up with the grid that's on my table. So as long as there's a straight line here, then this one will show me where the center point is. So I'm just using the grid from my desk to help me with where the center is. And it's all eyeballed because, you know, that's how I roll. And then I'm going to use my magnet to kind of hold the paper still while I stamp. Just, you know, just in case I need it. So that's my plan, and here we go. No, I did get a new Memento ink pad, so I'm really happy about that. Now, I might be inking it a little further down than I want, so I'm going to grab just a piece of white cardstock to put underneath so that I'm not stamping on my desk and messing anything up. Maybe, if it fits under there. Yep, there we go. All right. So, still going to try to stay aligned with that center part right there. So, here we go. We're going to get started. And I just stuck my finger in the ink already. That's a great way to get rolling. So, here we go. This is going to be my koala bear in the front. I like this block because you don't have to rock it or anything. It will just stamp for you. Now I have a mask here that I cut out. Now when you're doing your masking, you'll want to stamp on there. And what I did was I stamped off and then on the mask so it wouldn't be thick black on there that would get all over my hands, mess up my card. So, and then I cut it out a little bit into the black outline so that it wouldn't go around, so it wouldn't leave a white mark around my koala bear. Now, I'm going to cover this one up. And what we're going to do is we're now going to stamp the two koala bears that are going to be on either side of him. Now, he's going to be in the front. He's center. And then we're going to add two more. This is why we need so many rainbow colors, you know. I've been working so hard on the retreat stuff, so I didn't have a lot of time to plan tonight, so this is a kind of a wing it night. Wing it for fun. Why not, right? I thought this would be fun. We can use the bear. We can use the koala bear we haven't used yet. And then, there we go. Okay, 2 down. Couple more to go, and I'm still doing all right with just stamping without the Misty. Doesn't mean I'm, knock on wood, that doesn't mean I won't mess it up. You never know. Here goes the next one. I'm trying to keep the ear just barely off the page, so I want to keep him pretty close to inside. So it's just wherever you want to put him. Or her. Whatever you want to call it. I do have some bows that I might add to a couple of them to make them have, make them girls. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I got these bows the other day just because I thought they were so cute. And I got them at like Hobby Lobby. But how cute would that be to just stick a little bow on some of them to make them a girl? So we're definitely going to do that. Because in Rainbow, we have girl colors and boy colors that we can make some girls and some boys. Now, we have 3 little koalas. Now, if I turn them upside down, don't they look like they're hanging in the window to say hello? So, we're going to have 3 upside down and 3 right side up. So, now we have to stamp our other 3. I mean, I thought, how cute. This is going to be like a window in between with our message. You're going to Japan this year and you plan to get Copics? Oh my gosh. Let me know. You know, if you have extra luggage space, because you know, I can always use more Copics. Not that I need them, but you know how that goes. We can never have too many of them for sure. Okay, again, we're going to put our main bear that's in the front in the middle. We're going to try to line them up based on that one line that's going down my page. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, after all, this is handmade, so it doesn't really matter if it's absolutely perfect. I know my daughter just told me that she wants to go to Japan for her honeymoon next year. And I was like, girl, you're going to need more suitcases because you cannot go there and not get me markers because I mean, come on, you're gonna have to do that. So you need extra luggage. You got to buy me all the really cool stuff. I mean, there's so many other markers and gel pens, and I mean, just what I want to put her on a mission is they made this set of Copics that are mini. They're like about this big, and they really truly work. and I haven't been able to get them anywhere here. And I think they were a limited whatever, but I am hoping and praying that she could find a store that might have them, because I want them so bad. I want them so, so bad. But I haven't been able to find them. I only saw a YouTube video where somebody was saying, look what I got. And I was like, look, I'm jealous. Really, really jealous. Okay, so there we go. Now we have a mask on the top and a mask on the bottom. Oh, Japan sounds like so much fun. I'm going to Vegas in less than a month now, you guys. Retreat coming up in Vegas. It's going to be so much fun. And we're sold out, so that is super cool. Okay, same thing over here. We want to get him just a little bit off the page, but not too bad. Kind of keep him a little bit similar to the one on the other side. So if there's ever a technique or something that you want to see, something colored, something crafted, some kind of something, if there's ever something you want to see, please feel free to reach out and ask me. If I know how to do it or I can figure out how to do it, I'd be more than happy to do a video. So I can add it to one of our evening lives, and then I can show you guys how to do it. So if you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. I'm always open to ideas, even if it's just something you want to color along with or whatever. And even if it's another company, I don't mind. If I own it, I will do it. If it's Sassy Club, I probably own it. I have a million of them. So, yeah. Keep it open. All right, so here we go. We've now, look at that. We stamped all of our little images. Freehand. Go us. And then we have these extra covers that we can use again. So when I have one, I usually stick it onto my stamp sheet and just leave it there so I have it for next time. If I have more than one, sometimes I'll try to put it back on the sheet, and if not, I'll put it on the back of the plastic. So I'll have one on each side when I put my little koala bear on there, just in case I want to do something where I need a double stamp again. So I have two on there. You can always reuse them. You know I would love to go, oh, I know, Cheryl, I wish you could. I know you would if you could. It is going to be so fun-filled, and we have some amazing sponsors. Everybody has been so super nice, and I'm so greatly appreciative to everyone. Even Violetta Ink, the ones that I buy my Copic refills and stuff from, is sending a prize and some little stuff. So, yeah, I'm really excited. I've already gotten some of the prizes, so that's fun. All right. Now, here's what we have. Several little koalas. They're so cute. Now, we're going to do them in, so, rainbow and monochromatic. So, I'm not going to use, like, black for the nose and pink for the ears. I'm going to make them a full one color. So they're going to go this way. So we'll have 3 up here and 3 down here. So we'll have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And they're going to be all their individual colors. So almost like we sucked all the other color out of the world, and they're only going to be their own color. So that is what we're going to do. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing up close and personal, because, you know, we love that. Here we go. So I'm going to do this in simple coloring techniques. So we only have 3 colors for each one. If we need anything else, we can add to it, but I think we're going to be fine. So I have V09, V17, and V15 for our first set of purple. And what I want to do is I'm going to do the shadow area and also the nose, the ears, and the little hands are going to have that dark color in them. In a solid dark, no shadow, no color. This is a little bit different than I normally color. Normally I have to have shadow everywhere, but this time we're going to treat these like they're little stuffed animals because they're all different colors, and we're going to build in that really deep dark color in those areas that we want to keep that color. Now with that said, I'm going to leave his little nostrils alone because otherwise with these dark colors you wouldn't be able to see them. So I'm coloring around those two little spots where his nose is because I want you to hear that. Yes, rainbow, but not traditional rainbow. Like we're not going to blend the colors together. We're just going to rainbow it all out. I think that would be really fun. I do like doing the rainbow. I am teaching rainbow at the retreat. Like a really serious rainbow, like mixing all the colors and all the blending. We're going to definitely do that at the retreat. So that's going to be super fun. I think I'm going to go ahead and put a lot of the dark color right here on the belly as well. So a little bit thicker than I'm going to do anywhere else. And then we're just going to put small little bits. Maybe a little bit of a, brush stroke along the bottom. Maybe where the little hand is. Just a few little spaces we're going to put this deep dark color as our shadow. But not too much. So I want the main color to be focused on those darker areas. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. And don't worry, if you missed it this time, we have a waiting list you could jump on. Otherwise, we will be doing it again. You love all sorts of rainbow coloring, so bright and cheerful. Yes, that is the point. So I have a reason to send this card out. So this card is going out to someone. I want it to be bright and cheery and pretty and adorable, and them to really love it when they get it. So yeah, that is the goal of this particular card tonight. So I'm going to kind of build that arm area between the body and the arm by adding a little bit of dark color there. And then we're going to do this kind of around the outside. We'll leave a light area for an inside shadowing. So we only have 3 colors, so we need to be a little bit heavy with some of the colors we're using. Because we only have one more after this. So want to make sure we got all the colors in there. I chose an awesome image too. On the East Coast the next time in Virginia. Yay, can't wait. Yeah, on the East Coast. Virginia is where my husband's from, but his mom has moved to Louisiana, so I don't have a place there, but definitely somewhere. And then there's also in the making online retreats being planned right now as well. I like to do online. I have done it before several times, and I really like doing the online as well, so people who can't travel can come to the event and still gain the knowledge of learning to color. So after the retreat, we will also have coloring where I'm working on at the same time coloring pages to help you learn to color coming on the website, and lots of new things coming this year. So just keep your eyes peeled. I'm working on it. I was trying to decide if I wanted to put any shadow like right around his nose. I wasn't going to, but I think I've decided to because I just did it. Or I could come to Scotland. Wow, I've never been there. Yeah, online retreats are a lot of fun. The question I'll have to ask questions of y'all though, like, do you want kits? Do you just prefer we use what's in your craft room? Do you want to, you know, all those questions that'll come out asking how you want, what you'd like to see. And then we'll try to accommodate those that we can the best we can. So now I'm just blending all the remaining areas to get that really light purple. Now what we're going to try to do is imitate this same type of coloring on all of them. So we definitely want some dark with the light, bright areas in the same places. Is what I would love to go to Scotland, let me tell you. That would be amazing. I've only been out of the country once. I went to the Netherlands and it was beautiful. So right now it looks like my koala bear looks like a crazy person, but don't worry. We're gonna make him look really, really cute because, you know, we can't have a purple one that's not cute. I'm going to grab that piece of scratch paper that I was using earlier and put it underneath so I can just go right off the page without having to worry about anything blending onto my... I mean, it's fine. It won't mess up my desk, but I also don't want to pick up any of that color and have it mesh with one of the other colors. I mean, we don't need any purple meshing with our yellows, and you know how that is. But the weather isn't great. I'm so worried about what my allergies would do if I... It'd probably be better than it is here. Okay, we're going to go around the eyes. And because we're sticking with just adding no other colors but the color we want our bears to be, I'm not going to do anything but darken the eyes with the black. Not going to put any color in the eyes tonight. This is just a little bit different style than what I normally do, but I know you guys like to see other stuff too. Gray and wet most of the time. Aww. That sounds like that would not be good for people who need sunshine. I don't really go out of the house much, so it all feels gray and dark, and I have a lot of don't let those black curtains that, they're not black, but they blackout curtains, I guess is what they're called. We have a lot of those in our house because, you know, when I have migraines, I need it to be super, super dark in here. Otherwise, I get sick. So we have a lot of blackout curtains in our house. So we don't see a lot of that really bright sunlight anyway. All right. Look at this little bear. He's so cute. I need to soften this part right here because we don't want it to look like he has a big solid line on his forehead. So we're just working that color a little bit more, taking a little bit more time. But look at how cute he is. He's so cute. I really like him. You know I wanted to do the center one purple, right? But I didn't. I also think I don't want his nostrils to stand out quite as much, so I'm going to just put this light purple in there. I think that's better. Now we are going to have to do black around the eyes and stuff, and we'll do that, and then while we're working on a sentiment, that's when we'll take care of the rest. Isn't he beautiful in purple? I just love him. I feel like he needs just a tad bit more. Sometimes you can't tell until, oops, that's the wrong one. So that's not good. Sometimes you can't tell until it dries if it needs a little more, but there was a little bit of a spot right there. So I want to get that in there. We'll let that dry, see if we got it, and then we'll move on. Yep, we're going to have to work that spot. I put in there the wrong color. I think it was V17 instead of 15, so... But that's okay, because there would be a shadow on that side of his face. So we're good. We're golden. Okay. It makes me want to sing that golden song. but I won't because then they might ban my video. Okay, so the center one going in rainbow color, the center one will be blue, and I've chosen B99, 97, and 95. So we're going to start off with the same thing as we did before, putting the solid color within the areas we want it to be. So this is to kind of just show you guys that while you can add the dimension by shadow effect, which you can also see in this, even though it's all one color, there is a simple way to color until you get, you know, all the experience of doing all the elaborate coloring, but you can still color simple and cute and have it come out adorable. So don't hesitate, just work on it. And do simple things like this until you have practiced more and more and more. Because what is more fun than coloring? I love it. And I have been denied the coloring because I've been working on all the kits and projects and bundling everything up so I can ship it to Vegas for the retreat. Gathering all the prizes and information and kits, and we're gonna have like 6 or 7 projects and coloring, and there's so much involved. So I've been gathering everything together, and it's been taking a lot of time. I think my husband's been like, oh my gosh, hey, I'm still here in the house. I'm like, I know. So I'm adding just a little bit of extra darkness in a couple of areas for just a little bit of that shadow. I don't need a whole lot of it. I just need a little. And then the rest we'll worry about when we get to the next step. I'm only using 3 colors on every one of them. A dark, a medium, and a light. And they all kind of go in order. So, except for the V09. But the 17, 15, I could have used 12, but I wanted him to be a darker purple, so I used 9. Then 97, 95, 99, and B all go in order. So, there are some colors that work really well like that you can use to make that work out super. Just I want his belly to stay kind of dark, so this is our second color we're working on. I want to keep the shape of his ears, so I'm kind of building that in with the color. This guy's going to be lighter, so I really want to make sure I don't go over too much on that. And then we have to work on his face. This is where we had that really dark spot when we did it the last time, so we'll have to blend that pretty quick. Want to keep his cheeks going. It's so hard for me not to put some pink on those cheeks. So hard. I just want to. But I really am trying to stick to just the colors like a rainbow. Like a rainbow. All right, the next one is going to be the B95. We'll work on this part up here because we're going to need some blending going on there. Now, with it being a rainbow, I kind of want like the purple to be the darkest, and then these to feel like they're a little bit lighter, even though it's blue, and blue could be very, very dark as well, I want it to kind of be a little bit lighter than the purple. So that's the goal, in case you guys are wondering what is going on in my mind. That is what is going on in my mind. While I want it to be blue, I want it to still be slightly lighter than the other guy. So we'll let that dry so we can see how that looks, and we'll work on his little ear. This paper works really good for not bleeding. I love that. This is hammer mill paper. So if you've never used it, it blends very nicely. And it doesn't ooze outside the lines. So I really like that about it. Go. All right, now we're working on the bottom of his face. We'll get a little bit more up here. Now that it's dried, we can see it's got a little bit of spot there that needed a little bit more right here. And we'll let that dry and see if we need any more or if we're good with that. Now don't forget, we're going to do his little nostrils with this last color so we can make sure that all works out. You still have to work on your blending when you do this, as far as the two colors blending together, but it is a little bit easier than remembering to blend and remembering to shadow and all the other things. So this is a little bit easier coloring, especially when you can pick the colors you want yourself. I'm gonna leave these tufts of hair just a little bit lighter up there, because I think it'll be really cute that way. You love that shade of blue? This is my favorite shade of blue for blue jeans. I usually use it for blue jeans. It's cute. I like it. All right, moving on. Next one we have is green. Now my greens are a little bit lighter, even so. So I have YG17, YG13, and YG11. So 3 greens. We're going to start with dark and move our way up. So YG17 is first. I'm making sure I don't have any colors on my hands. So a little bit here. And then remember, we color in these ears, and we want to make sure we don't pick up any of that blue. And put a little bit here. And I'll leave the rest alone. Let's do this. That you can try to do them exactly the same, but I struggle with doing anything exactly the same as the other one, as long as it's close. But repeating the same steps is a little bit harder for me. Everything always looks a little bit different every single time you color it. It's never exactly the same. I might go over these darkest spots one more time after we get done, just to enhance that darkness, because these colors aren't going to be as easy because they're so close. They're still going to look, you know, still going to look light colored, but that's okay. I love that shade of blue. They're coming out really nicely. They're going to look even better when we do their eyes, but they're really, really cute. Very happy with them, the way they're coming out. All right, next, we're going to go to our YG13. we're going to color in this part that's down here, kind of around the outside with this one. Also, wherever it separates, I like to have a little bit there. Here we go with this part that we always need a little bit of help blending. Right here. And I put it under his eyes so it looks like his cheeks are really big. I would definitely do that with a squirrel. Definitely, definitely. I think I'm going to finish this whole area down here with this color. There we go. I think that looks cute. I like that. So I'm going to go back in here and just add a little bit more. Now that it dried, it'll make it just a shade darker, which is all I want. So cute. Let's put a little bit more on the top of his nose. This one's going to have a little bit more. There we go. All right, last color. See, these color up pretty quick and they're cute. YG11 is our last color. This one is really, really light, so it might take a little to blend, but no, it seems like it's going really well. These colors are paired up very, very nicely. So working really good. I mean, why not rainbow it up? Who doesn't like a rainbow? This marker feels a little dry. Sometimes they feel dry even when they're not, when they're light colors, because you feel like you're just not getting the saturation that you want. And that's just because I'm really big on the pop of color. And like, I love to have pop of color on my projects. So I tend to use darker colors more often than pastel. The pastels are beautiful. I just am not very good at doing them, just because I like that pop of color. So I will say with my Ohuhu markers, that's been the biggest challenge so far, other than the numbering system they have. That part's been a little challenging. But the biggest challenge for them, for me, is that their colors are so light. Love how you all have different character depending on their colors. Yes, they do. I agree. But yeah, so that's the only thing with the Ohuhu, is that I feel like it's, for me, lacking in some of the really dark tones that I really like. So if you were curious, I'm going to go over this one just a little bit more because it feels like I don't have any depth of color like I have with these two. So I'm going to go back in with that YG13 and kind of build this in. You noticed in the darker colors, I had to work on really blending this area. But on this lighter color, I'm struggling a little with keeping some of that shadow. So I'm just going in a couple of the places that I had shadow and just enhancing that shadow a little bit. Just because I want to be able to see it a little bit more. And then this time when I go in with my YG11, instead of going over the whole thing, I'm just going to touch where the edge of that coloring was, so that I can keep that depth of color up at the top. Now right now it looks like there's a line. We got to see if that's going to fix itself when it dries, or if I am going to have to go over the whole thing. But at least when it dries and I go over the whole thing, it'll change. It looks like it's blending in just fine. I'm going to do just a little bit more here on that one side. There we go. I think this is more what I was looking for. And I'm a little bit happier with that because there's a little bit of shading going on there. So I love that. Hello, Beth. Hawks won against the Huskers. I don't even know what that is. Is that football or soccer, basketball, baseball? I don't know. I'm not very good at sports. I don't really watch it, so I don't really know anything about it. Now, I was going to just start with the rest of the rainbow on this side, but I really think we need to start, like, we need our rainbow to go like this, you know, like a rainbow, like, whoosh. So I think I need yellow here instead of down here so that it flows, and red will be on the other end of the rainbow. So let's start with this one and use our yellows first, because I think that'll be better call on that. So why 15, 13, and 11? I mean, we're not going to put them on the card like this, although we could, and that would be really cute because it'd be like a rainbow like that. I really wanted to put them on like this, but who knows? I might change my mind. Since this one has a lot of that dark color on there, you don't want to put that underneath your project because the ink can pull, the alcohol can pull that ink up through the paper into your project. So I'm going to grab a different scratch paper that I have over here that doesn't have any color on it, and I'm going to use that instead. So just so you know, basketball. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, I don't watch any sports. Now, if you said NASCAR, I would probably know, but the rest of them, I don't know anything about them. I like them. I was a cheerleader, but I'm not a basketball or football or soccer or ice hockey or any of that. And my daughter is all of those. She loves them all. But not me. And luckily, not Dale either. So the only thing we ever watch related to that is the commercials from the Super Bowl. It's all cool. I know how it's played. I know some of the rules and regulations and all that stuff because, I did cheer, and you have to know. You can't be saying defense when it's offense. I mean, like, I get it. But I've just never really been one that liked watching that on TV. In person, though, I would probably go to any one of those kinds of games in person. Because something about the feeling and all the excitement that's going on with everyone around you, it just really drives that into a really fun experience. But as far as me watching it on TV or whatever, it's not really my thing. I even struggle with NASCAR on TV sometimes. But I love to go to NASCAR races. I've been to the Texas Motor Speedway, and I've been to Kansas City, and I've been to we went to I can't think. I used to travel around and go to the races with my brother. My brother loves sports, loves NASCAR, so. And snooker? What's a snooker? Snooker. Hey, Anna. Hey, y'all. That's my daughter-in-law right there. Thank you for popping on. The only sport you don't watch is golf unless it's Happy Gilmore. Okay, I would watch Happy Gilmore because it's funny. But you're right. I don't watch any of those things. Now, I know my son and my daughter-in-law both love golfing and fishing. Well, at least my son does. And my son plays baseball. I would go to a game for him. That would be exciting, but that's just because you get to watch your child play a sport, which, you know, doesn't matter how old they get, it's fun. It's fun to watch. And I would go to them for my grandson, but, you know. I have really great, you like golf, but you don't like watching golf. See? I know. I used to go to this friend's house and her husband watched golf all day, every day, and oh my gosh, it drove me crazy. I was like, how can you even find that the least bit exciting? I don't understand the excitement over golf, but now I might go to a you know, Top Golf or a putt-putt golf, but that's about as good as I get right there. And I'm not even very good at it. I would much rather go play pool or darts than I would Top Golf, but you know. And pinball machines. I like pinball machines too. I do like watching the Olympics when it's gymnastics or sometimes ice skating, just because I think it's really pretty and fun to watch. And that's about it. Not really a big watcher of the Olympics either. Sometimes swimming is not too bad if they're doing like stuff with their legs and stuff, like whatever they call that, acrobatic type stuff. All right, now we got a yellow one. Look at that yellow one. He's so cute. And look at how the ears, inside the ears, look so different than the rest of them. But look at how light those are. I think we need to go over that one again. It's driving me crazy. So I think I'm going to deepen, same markers. I'm not going to grab any darker marker, but I'm going to go over the inside of these ears one more time with this YG17. There we go. That is more like what I was looking for. I think I really like that. Just on the ears, I think the nose is good enough and the rest of it is probably good enough. But that just makes the ears really pop a bit more. So I like that. Fun to play for sure. Watching, snore. Yeah, for sure. All right, now we're on orange. So for orange, I chose the YR colors. So I chose YR 09, 07, and 04. So those are the ones we're going to use. Here we go. I was a little bit worried because I could see through this when I was coloring it, a black line, which is on the back of the image. But when it dried, you can't see it, so I'm happy about that. I was a little worried about it for a minute. You know, I never throw any paper away, so imprinting everything for classes and things like that, and digital images, I always save my paper if I messed it up, or if I changed my mind about what I wanted to print. I always use the other side for coloring or card inserts. Never waste the paper. I need it all. Every bit of it. You want to know how serious I am? Look at this. This is the scraps from the pages I was printing earlier. I just can't throw away these scraps. So that's why whenever we're coloring something, I always grab one of those as a test to show you guys in blending or trying to choose my colors. Those are my swatches, the leftover papers. That way I'm still using good paper, but I'm not using a full sheet. So yeah, I like to use all of that stuff. Yeah, I went up a little bit into his chin with this color, but I think it'll be okay. I think he'll still be okay. He almost looks like red on a TV. They're a usable size though, so you can't, right, exactly, you can't toss them. For sure. YR07 is next. I think YR04 kind of changes the tone a little bit, so I think we're going to get a different color with that one. I can't remember for sure off the top of my head, but I think so. It'll still blend well, but I think it's going to be a little bit different. Here we go. This is the top of his head. We got to put some shadow up there. There we go. And we got to do his little hair up here. Little tufts of hair. I could color me a bunch of these. I like doing this in rainbow. This is fun. We have to do what do you call it, a slimline card, so we can make more in a row. That would be fun. I missed putting a little bit of that really dark color right there, so I might have to go back in with that color. There we go. It's looking beautiful. You like it? I like it. I'm very happy with it. I wasn't sure if I would be or not. I never know. I'm not a good visualizer. You know what I mean? Like the other night I heard somebody say they had a, what was that thing, Dale, when we were watching it, where she said that she has a problem visualizing?
Anaphasia?
Anaphasia. I think I have anaphasia. That's what they called it. Like the inability to visualize what it's going to look like when it's done without actually seeing it. Which is why when I start the live videos, I always say, I have no idea what this is going to look like because I can't visualize it, but I'm willing to take the chance to see how it looks.
And I'm the complete opposite, because when I give you something to draw, I give you every single detail.
Hey, Mama. Yes, Dale is very good at visualizing something. I am terrible. So when he comes to me with an idea, he's like, what do you think about this, 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 this? I just look at him with like this blank look on my face, like I have no idea what that would look like. I can't give you an opinion because I have no clue. I'm clueless. I'm just not good at visualizing. And that's why when I build cards with mechanisms and stuff like that, it's all trial and error. You never know what your stuff's going to look like. Okay, Susie, I'm not alone. I like that I'm not alone. Sometimes when I finish, I wish I had chosen like a different color, or, oh, I might have liked that better if I'd have used a different color, but I really just have to go on color theory, not what I think it'll look like, because I'm just not good at that. It looks like I cut the poor bear in half. Poor little guy. All right, so I think he turned out good. Next we have red, and I have 3 colors for red. Are 39, 37, 35. We do make a great team. He's got the stuff I don't, and I do the stuff he doesn't, so it works out really great. R39, 37, and 35, and I'm going to start with the 39. I really like this combination because it makes me think of cherries, because it has a little bit of a pink tone to it versus the R29, 27, 24. That one has a little bit more of an orangey look to it. But I thought if we were going to be right next to the orange bear, I didn't want to use the reddish orange color. I wanted to use more of a red pink color. So that's why I chose the R39 instead of R29. So that's just picking my brain, how my brain works. Just getting a little bit of shadow area in there. You know, we didn't do a lot of shadowing, but we do need a little bit. Just for fun. Funsies. Just for funsies. There we go. That's how your hubby and you work too. With that, needing that one having what the other one doesn't. It makes it a lot easier. It really does. So this one is R37. 35 will be a lot lighter. Now, if you wanted to, you could have done like 6 masks and just masked all of these and did something with the background. But I have some ideas going on right now that we might do with this other than what I originally had planned. Now, like I said, I can't visualize, but now that I'm seeing how this is coming out, I have some ideas, and that's kind of how I work. I just kind of go with it as I get there and don't plan ahead. But, you know, that's me. I don't plan ahead very often. But that's what makes it fun. I get to see it come to life just like you guys do. So I'm seeing everything just the way you guys are. So when I say, oh, I really like that, it's because I really like it and I couldn't visualize it before we started. So really had no idea what was going to happen. Okay, here is R35. You guys are not going to believe how much more this pops when we do the eyes with the multi-liner. I know it from experience that it is just going to be awesome.
So you're more on the spectrum of aphantasia, and I'm on the other spectrum of hyper.
You guys speak louder so they can hear you.
Oh, I was saying you're more on the spectrum of aphantasia, where I'm on the other side of hyperaphantasia, where I can have strong mental imagery because I can see, rotate, see things in 3 dimensions, see data.
Yeah, definitely not in that category for me. We're going to have to work this one a little bit to get that blend to go nicely. So sometimes it helps to let it dry a little bit and then come back in and do that. I like to pick out my pattern papers before coloring if I'm using them and then choose colors from the paper. Yes, I do that sometimes too, Susie. I will do that sometimes as well. Sometimes I pick my background to match whatever I colored, but most of the time when I do lives, I like to cut down on the choosing of stuff while I'm on the live. So I'll try to choose colors for like the pattern paper and stuff like that, and then just color to accommodate. And that helps with cutting down how much you guys have to watch my brain try to work out colors. If I don't do that, then I tend to have to ask you guys, what do you think? Which one looks better? What do you... That's why I always ask. If I can visualize it in my head, I probably would just pick the color and run with it. But I can't, so That's why I always ask for you guys to help me out. So I do value what you guys think as well. Because I know some of you can visualize that stuff better than I can. All right. Now, time to look at these cute bears. Holy cow, I really like them. Let's use the multi-liner. And then we'll do the white gel pen afterwards. So first I have to find it. That's the silver. Where's my white gel pen? Do you see it on my desk? Hold on 1 second, you guys. I don't see my white gel pen, which could be a big problem for me. Dale, do you see my white gel pen? Silver, 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 gold. Oh, here it is. It was hiding. Thank you, Tamara. Yeah, I wish I could visualize in 3D too. Dale can, but I can't. He is very good at that.
Yeah, when I do a cosplay, I actually build it in my head first and go through all the steps on how to make everything.
There are a lot of times when he's just sitting there pondering, and I'm like, what are you thinking about? And then he starts going into some elaborate thing that I can't understand, so I just say, never mind. Just go right ahead. Look at the eyes. Now, don't they pop? Let me turn this light a little bit off. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that cool? Yeah, sometimes he can help me with different designs and stuff because he can see all that stuff that I can't. He has a very unique brain, that is for sure. Look at how cute. They look so much better. All right, so we got to do them all. And I'm doing just the eyeballs. You could just color right over the white, but because you can just use the white gel pen, but I think that kind of scares people when you do that, so I usually try to leave that. Plus, if you're not exactly sure where you want those eyeballs to be, it's helpful to leave the little speck of the white for the white gel pen. I mean, I drew them so I know where they are, but
Looks like you missed a little bit.
What?
On the orange one, on your left-hand side, inner corner.
In here? Right here?
Yep.
Better?
Yep.
Dale's watching the TV while I color. In case you guys were wondering, I always cast to the TV so I can see your comments. And then Dale can watch the talking, and if he's in the room, he's not always, sometimes he's gaming, but if he's in the room, he can tell me when you guys are commenting if I didn't look up yet. All right, 3 more. I know this takes a little bit of time, but you don't want to go outside the lines and mess that up. So, and honestly, when I video, I have to use very dim light. Otherwise, it washes out what you guys are looking at. So it's almost like coloring in the dark or in the almost dark. I usually have the light right over my desk when I'm coloring not on a live. But when I'm on a live, I want you guys to be able to see it in its natural color as best as possible. So I am actually coloring more in the dark. Look, 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 look. It makes such a difference, doesn't it? It so does. I mean, it's one of the biggest tips that I can share with people because it makes such a big impact and it's such a little thing to do. You don't have to draw anything. You're just tracing out the circles that are already there. I had already colored over this one, so we're missing the white spot on this one. The purple one. But that's okay. We'll add it back with the white gel pen. I don't remember when it was that I discovered this little tip or trick. I didn't hear it from anyone else. I just think that one time I thought they weren't dark enough eyes, and so I just decided to go try it. And I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Look at these little guys. Don't they just look so happy? I think why my eyes look off is the white gel pen. Do you not use the white gel pen, or do you not have a good white gel pen? Sometimes the white gel pens aren't as good as I'd like them to be. This one has been really good to me. I love this white gel pen. I don't know that I would ever go to another white gel pen. I think I'm sold on this one. It's Karen Marker Deco Gel. And I mean, I bought all the sets that they had with all the different colors and all the sparkly pens because I have like an addiction to office supplies. And I had no idea when I bought them how much I was going to use this freaking white gel pen. So much that I've already refilled the ink once. But I do love it.
She said, Beth says, Sandy, can I send you a picture of my image? I don't have one.
Can I send you a picture of my image? I don't have one. Sure. Yes, so you don't have a white gel pen. Oh, I'm trying to get these in the shop. I haven't been able to get them in the shop yet. I really want you to do a lot if you're... I think I'm going to put just a teeny bit on the nose. Just to give it a little bit of... Just a little bit of extra on the tip of the nose. Yeah, that might be, if you don't have a white gel pen, that might be a big difference. Yes, you can send me a picture of an image and we can talk about it. No problemo. Okay, so like I said earlier, I have a bunch of these scrap papers, and I was thinking I would use one for a word, like to stamp my word through the center. I think I'm going to have to trim it down, though. I don't want it covering up any of my bears. So I could either cut the bears out along the line, but then I'd have to do this and that, yeah. So I think what I'll do is make the sentiment strip a little bit smaller. So let's try 1 inch. Let's try 3/4 of an inch instead of 1 inch. And see how that goes. I bet that's going to work just fine. Right in the center there. Yep, I think that's going to work just fine. It's not going to cover up any of the little koala bears' heads. So that is a good thing. So I'm going to zoom out because I think we need to do a few things. So for this one, I think what we're going to do is we're going to grab I'm going to grab my 100 Copic marker, and I'm going to use the chisel end. This is the other end. We always use the brush end, but I'm going to use the chisel end. And I'm okay if this isn't like perfect, but I'm just going to put a little bit of a border around this first. And then we're going to see how that looks, because I think that's going to make a big impact between our koala bears. Yeah. I think that really makes a difference. So I like that. We're going to do that. We're probably going to pop it up. I think that's a good idea. So I think maybe if we're going to do that, we should have a black card base behind it. And then maybe a white. So we'll do a black matte and a white card base. So I think I have a white card base already cut. So we can use that one. And then I think, is this just sitting over here, just hanging out on my desk, is a mat. Yay! Look at that. I needed a reason to use that. So for the sentiment, usually when we stamp a sentiment, and I might have to do this more than once, but I have lots of choices because I have tons of paper here. So if we mess it up, we can redo it. But I thought it would be fun to use this "Hello There, Friend." Love using the chisel end to do that. Me too. I do it a lot more than I would normally. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm just using the I'm using the table to eyeball my center point, and then I'm going to put my magnets on each end. And what I want to do is put the sentiment right in the middle first. And I think I'm going to just use black. So yeah, here we go again with no Misty. We're just gonna do it. Let's see. We need it about centered, which I think might be right about there. That's step one.
If you wanted to stamp this, but you wanted it to be kind of like a rainbowish, how would you do that?
You'd have to use the marker on the stamp.
You could use the marker on the stamp?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you want me to show you?
Sure.
Okay. Hold on. Let me grab my scrap here because, again, I don't want to stamp on my desk. What we're going to do is make it say "Hello There, Friend" all the way across. So some of it you will see repeated and some of it you won't. So we're just kind of building our own little sentiment strip. So we really just needed to get it centered first. And then we could do, hold on, I think I have too much ink on that one. Hold on. There we go. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side, trying to keep about the same amount of space in between. I mean, again, we're building it ourselves, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Yay! All right. So Dale was asking, can you do it in rainbow? So let's see if you can. Let's go ahead and cut this one down, because if the rainbow looks better, then maybe we roll with that. I'm going to cut it down to 3/4 of an inch, just like the other piece of paper, which is this one.
Again, I saw the rainbow sent in my head. So
see how he sees it in his head? I don't even think about it. And he thinks about it. So we're going to test it real quick because, you know, we still have a bit of time. All right. So let's see. If this goes like this. Okay. So we need... because we have rainbow on the top, rainbow on the bottom, so we probably want something that would be a mix of those two. So I would maybe go with the lighter one. Maybe that red. We'll go with the middle tones of each one, of each color. So the mid-tone of blue, the mid-tone of orange, the mid-tone of yellow, the mid-tone of purple. Which one am I missing? Yellow, orange, red, green. I'm missing the green one. Okay, so this is going to be important. If we're going to be putting these colors onto the stamp itself, okay, remember it's going to go this way. So each letter, each word, I want to be half one color and half the other color. So when we do that, we're going to have to use the lighter colors first. Okay, so on the top of the word, this is the top side, I'm going to use yellow here. I'm not going to close my markers because I don't want it to dry too much. There's green. Then we have orange, which is going to be on the same side with the yellow. Then we have blue. Then we have purple and red. So purple on the bottom, red on the top. We're about to see if this works. My theory is with some inks, if they dry, you can huff on them. You know what I mean by that?
I was going to ask if you're able to do that.
I think you can huff on it to wet it up again, but we'll see. See if it works. We're about to find out. Ooh, it's stuck to the paper. It doesn't work. Nope, you can't do it, babe.
Okay.
Nice try, though.
Or not with alcohol inks.
Not with alcohol inks. You could do it with the regular ink. Now I've just stained my... It stains your stamps, too, so don't do it.
Here.
See?
Wash it off.
Now it's stained, but that's okay, because look how pretty it looks. So, nope, you can't do it with alcohol markers, but you can do it if you have other inks. And I don't really have other inks. It won't come off. But Dale's going to try to get it off. I don't care if it's on there because it's pretty and cute, but that was an epic fail. So, now you know what not to do. Do not
with Copics.
Use your Copics on your stamp sets. If you had a watercolor ink, you could do it with that. But you can't do it with alcohol. So there we go. Now we know. Now you know. Now you know. Just in case you was wondering. Now you know. All right. I told you if you ask, I'll try anything once and see how it goes. I'm going to use my pop stuff for... Where you guys like, oh, nobody said don't do it, so you guys didn't know, did you? You didn't know if you could do it or not. Otherwise, you should have said, stop, stop, don't do it. Well, now we know. That's how we learn. I'm going to do a second piece. I know I don't need it, the strip that big, but I am going to need to finish the edge of. So I'm going to put one all the way across. I'm not going to put it on there yet because we have to build our card before we pop our dimension. Otherwise, we end up with a struggling time pressing all of our stuff together. So I just want to get a little bit more on here. Is it stuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's never going to come off now. I was pretty sure that was the case because you can't, you might be able to clean it with alcohol though. Like the colorless blender alcohol. Yeah, but I don't know what that'll do to the photopolymer, so we'll just leave it stained.
I didn't.
I'm okay with that. It's only one word. Hey, Beth. It reminds you of the Grateful Dead. Yes, always worth a shot, Susie. You just never know. Okay, so I'm going to trim this down. Remember I said that I trimmed that one to 3.75. So I'm going to make this mat at 4. And then I did it at 5. So I'm going to make this mat at 5.25.
Do you want me to test some isopropyl on it?
No. So just so you guys know, this card's already spoken for. Because I already have somebody in mind that I said I would send a card to, and they're going to get this card. It's one of those, hello there, how are you? Because I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were offering to mail out cards, and I was like, I rarely get any cards. Isopropyl alcohol should work. Really, Susie? Should we try it? I guess it's my stamp, so if I totally hose it up, I can always get another one. Anyway, I said, you know, I would love to have one of your cards. And the lady was like, oh, okay, I'll send you one. I said, I don't get mail very often. Like, I mail out cards, but people don't usually send me cards. So she said, they don't send me cards either. And I said, well, I'll send you a card. So this is the card that I'm going to send to that girl. So that is what this card is for. And I hope she will love it.
Ask them how the video quality's been this week.
What?
Ask them how the video quality's been this week.
Oh, yes. And Dale came up with a new way to do the video quality. How is it for you guys? Does the video seem to be better this week? Because we changed it up hoping to prevent those scrolling issues and all that stuff. Yeah,
Stuttering
and freezing, and Dale's come up with a theory. I stuck that pin right in my finger. Crafting tragedy. I can't see it. It's so dark in here I can't see it. I have to stand up so I can see the black mat. I still can't see it. Let's put it on top of the white first. Maybe I can see it then. Okay, now I can see it. All right, so I'm just centering it. I want to make sure I center it pretty good.
Cool says it's crisper.
It's crisper? Oh, that's great news. We've been trying to come up with we've been troubleshooting, but this was the plan that Dale had, and I think it's working out great. I'm trying to decide, should I pop this one and pop this?
No, just pop the
top. Just pop the top. Pop the top again. Okay, here we go. We're just going to put this down. You know we're going to add some bling too, because we just can't not add bling. We got to have bling everywhere. Okay, so this is the way the card opens. So do I want, I want the purple on the bottom because I can't help myself. And I love the purple. This is so cute, you guys. This is really cute. And this was not a hard card. You could actually do this with so many of the stamps. Like, think about how cute it would be to do this bear over and over again, and he would have a fence all the way across. And same with the fox. You could put the fox several times. Put the top of the bear or the relaxing bunny all the way across your card would be super cute too. And then we're going to put this one on top. And this time I'm going to add glue to the back of this just in case I don't lay it down correctly right away. I'll be able to still move it.
Ellen Day said, sending you some love, Dale and Sandy.
Yay! Thank you. I hope you guys are still going to be live when my live is over so I can pop back over there. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Beth said she started using bling because of you.
Really? I love bling. It just makes everything happy. But look at that. You almost don't even need bling on that. It's so cute. Doesn't matter which way you look at it. All those little cute little guys are waving at you. Hello, hello. They're all waving. Aren't they just the most adorable things ever? Now, don't forget, we said we were going to put some bows on a few of them. So we got to make us a few little girls. So we have all little boy. They're all technically little boys. Let's see. I have a blue bow. We could be sticking with the colors of the bears. Let's see. If I put one on the yellow for sure, how cute would that be? I'm just cutting these so I can see what they look like on the bears before I actually stick them down. But I do like them. They're so cute. Like, hold on. My fingernails are not a good thing for this, but I think this, let me see if this would slide underneath that lifted area.
Just get your tweezers.
Yep, I'm going to. That is exactly what I'm going to do. Okay.
I've seen you struggle.
So, yes, it would fit. Or I could put it right across the top. Or for the boys, we could put it under there. Oh my gosh. Look at that. We could do so many things with these cute little bows. Dale, we need you to make bows in the shop. There's one for the yellow one. And then there's a pink bow. So we could put the pink bow. Well, this is kind of a pinkish purple. So it kind of matches the purple really well. So we could put the purple on the purple. So now we have two. Oh my goodness. How stinking cute is that? I almost think that's all we need is just two.
No, you need one for a bow tie, don't you?
One for a bow tie probably would match on the blue one, the green. I think it needs to be on the green one. This one is actually white, so it might work. On the green one. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh, we're going to do it too. We're going to put 3 of them on there because we can't help ourselves. You guys, I love this card. I may have to make this card again because this is super cute. And these, I had no idea when I bought these bows what I was going to do with them, but I was like, they're so cute. I could do all kinds of things. So I need Dale to make these bows so we have them in the shop. That's his next mission. Dude, I need you to make me some bows. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is so cute. I don't even care if I have to add extra shipping to it. That is so cute. Isn't that adorable? Look at that. I mean, how cute is that? It doesn't get any cuter than that. This one almost looks like a baby to me. Even though they're all the same stamp, this one just looks like so sweet and innocent. That innocent one up there in the corner. How cute is that? This is really cute. I hope you guys like this. I hope you'll try it. Share it in our group because I love it. I love how it turned out. The bows are so fun. So I have a couple of things to tell you guys. The next release is going to be April 11th. We are going to have a release party over at Happy Crafty Ho Ho, just like we did last time. Because how fun was that? So I'll be posting more of that advertising in the group so you guys know it's coming up because it's just so fun. We got to have parties. Parties are fun. So you'll want to be included on that. So if you're not already following Happy Crafty Ho Ho, you'll want to get on that and follow that. I put the link in the group. I can do it again when I announce the party. So you guys will be able to join in on that.
And happy is H-A-P-P.
H-A-P-P-I-E, crafty, C-R-A-F-T-Y, ho-ho. Tonight they're doing Christmas stuff, so they like to do Christmas. I figure if I hang out with them every time they do Christmas until Christmas, I'll have all my Christmas cards made before Christmas gets here. That's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. Yes, and even Beth is over there all the time now, too, which is amazing. I love seeing you guys over there. They're really funny. They're a lot of fun. I really enjoy hanging out with them. Even if you're not crafting, just listening makes me giggle and laugh. So, yes, come join the group and do the notifications on YouTube, and you'll know when they go live. Usually it's late night, so if you're not a late night person, you can just ignore that and do the daytime ones. See how simple it is to make this card? You guys can make this so easily, and how adorable is that? They are really friendly, and they're super nice. Good night. I will chat to you tomorrow. It sounds great. I hope you're feeling better, Cheryl. So you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me again tonight. I do have a good announcement you want to hear. Okay. No glue, NATO. Yay. So I recently got my hands on some stamps that I made with another company. And so they are no longer available in stamp sets, but they were designed by me, and I want to do giveaways. So potentially next week we may use some of these, and if you're watching and you join in, you can win, or I may just do them as a random prize while you're watching. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what they look like. I'm going to cover the brand name just because, you know, I don't want to talk about that part. So these were, this was the plumeria that I designed. It's in steps. There are dies with it. So stamps and dies. And then this one is the build a poppy. So I could show you how to do that because I still have the stamp set myself. So the poppy... My arm's over it. So the poppy would be one. It also has the dies that go with it. And then I have the tulip right there. Stamps and dies. And then the daisies and the dies. So I want to give these away. So we will probably be doing that next week. So if you want to make sure you catch our live on Tuesday and Thursday at 8 Central, we will give away those stamp sets. So join in. Maybe the other one will just be a game in the group or something, but we'll see. Stay tuned. Stay in touch. Keep in touch with the group, and maybe you could win. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, please like and subscribe so we can grow that channel and do more videos on that channel as well. And you guys have a great evening. Happy Friday tomorrow. Good night. Love you guys. Ooh, Cheryl has some that she needs to sell, and 3 of them have dies. See? Well, just talk to me in a little bit, Cheryl. Love you guys. Good night.